Welcome, Covert Jaguar here with a new Railcraft update video for version 9.3. Go get it. And make sure you get the 9.3.1.0 because otherwise what I'm going to show you today ain't really going to match up with what you see in 9.3.0.0. There's a few recipe bugs and stuff, but those should be fixed in point 1, so if you're going to follow on long, make sure you have the latest version. But anyways, the 9.3 update was the Electric Locomotive update. As you can see, there's several of them putting around out here. See, these tracks here are the electric tracks. You just heard its horn. These copper looking tracks. They are currently run via the third rail system rather than overhead catenaries. Mainly because catenaries are a huge pain to render and make them usable and placement and all that stuff. Big pain. So yeah, third rail it is. But it's being powered by these. It's all being powered by these two turbines here, running from these two boilers. So we have a Stafford, which is been named because I was testing some stuff with names. But anyways, we got the Electric Locomotive, and one of the things that I was testing is it'll now display the destination and the name if you give it a custom name like so. Like so. So anyways, that's a thing. I think most of the cart dispenser and everything should all support custom names and things. So we have basically two ways of powering the electric locomotive. Get rid of some of this garbage. You can either use the tracks, which are powered by this wire from this turbine. The wire's right here, the electric shunting wire. That's added by Railcraft. It's not a very good long distance wire, so don't try it. It has very high loss and it's fairly expensive. And it also doesn't work with the electric loaders. You still need IC2 wires for those. So the turbine no longer requires IC2. However, the loaders and the energy carts that you see these things pulling around still require IC2. That may change in the future, but not right now. But anyways, this is the other way of powering a locomotive. We have a bat box cart being filled with energy from the energy loader. And here's our GUI. Come on, slow down. So here's our energy charge. It's got an internal buffer that'll run for a little while without power. But it fills that buffer from either the tracks or a connected battery cart, energy cart. Now the energy carts have been modified slightly. They will slow your train down quite a bit. They're very heavy. So let me show you here. We got 4 locomotives pulling this one, because if I shut down all but one of these locomotives, it's very, very slow. Because this is a very, very heavy MFE cart. those back on. Oh dear. Not quite sure what happened there. How they got turned around. Orientation on minecarts is a little bit hacky. But that's mostly due to the way they were written by Notch. So. But anyways, we have over here, we have our handy dandy electric meter. I'll show you how to make all this stuff in a little bit. But you can see everything in the network has a charge. Everything also has the same cap, except for the locomotives have a different cap, and the battery carts. Anyways, they got a cap and they got a loss. Tracks aren't too bad. You can support quite a few tracks with a fairly small amount of power. The wires, however, got 5 times the loss of the tracks, and we got one other thing over here. This thing here is an electric feeder, and it has a full 1 EU loss, but this stuff isn't actually technically EU, but it uses the unit is the same size, so it's a direct 1-to-1 conversion, just to keep things simple on implementation side for me. But so the electric feeder, which is this block, which I'll make sure and give that a tooltip before I publish 9.3.1. But anyways, this block can interface with IC2 networks. Because you see here we have a solid heat generator. I don't know what it's doing. And a Stirling generator producing power. And if you look here, this line is not energized, but if we put this cable down, you'll see it start to energize. Takes a little while to propagate, but anyway, so that's what this block's for. I do plan to add support for other electricity APIs like factorization, maybe electric age, and universal electricity. We'll see how that goes. I'll do that after probably while I'm doing the next patron, the laser rail bridge, because it's going to be electricity based as well. So, but so the electric meter, and yeah, I'm a little out of practice with this whole video speaking thing. If you haven't noticed, but so it only works with IC2 right now, but I do plan to make it work with other types of electricity. It does not work with RF, and it will never work with RF unless you have some kind of weird thing that converts RF to universal electricity or something. Because RF is not electricity, so it cannot be used to power electric tracks. I will eventually make it so you can power stuff like the rolling machine with RF. That is in the works as well. So, but not yet, not right now. I want to get this done first. So we have, adding the more locomotives I showed you, and we got this guy chugging along. We got our track. We'll turn this guy off. That's a whistle track, by the way. Makes it whistle, blow its horn. Over here we have a network of wire, just to kind of showcase some of the things you can do with the wire. The electric shunting wire. It will connect to electric feeders. It can provide power to feeders and everything, if you wish to do it that way. It will not connect directly to a track sideways. It will, however, connect underneath a track if you use one of these. I don't have any on me. One moment. If you use one of these wire support frames, you can place a track over top of the wire. So you put the support frame down and the track and the wire goes in, and then you can put the track on top. Or you can put the wire down, put it down like so. Or you can do it in the last, like that. Doesn't really matter. But over here we have a showcase of why this stuff is necessary. You see we have our pit of lava here. Whoop! Oh, good thing I'm in creative mode. But we have our pit of lava crossed by suspended tracks here. But there's a section of electric track over here around this side, and you can see that's interesting. Why do we have no power over here? Oh. Because this side over here isn't connected to power. Because of this gap over here. I didn't even think about that when I built it. But you see this section here is not powered, so this whole section is not powered, which means none of that's powered. So, and as you can see, that locomotive is going around that whole section just fine, even though it's only getting power from this side. Amazingly. But we'll fix that. Oh. Great. I don't know what's up with the weird rendering. That's some vanilla bug or something. Move! Yeah. Has something to do with the order the items are in your hotbar. Okay, so we put that up, and then we can see here. We got to remove this. Like so. And it should power all that over there now. However, that still leaves this other half not powered, so we'll fix that. No. I should have stopped the stupid thing. There we go. Now the entire track should be powered. Anyways, you can use this to bypass boarding, or I guess they're not called boarding tracks anymore, but locking tracks and any other switch. No, we got switches. I don't know. Whistle tracks, locomotive tracks, whatever kind of track you want to insert into your line. You can use these wires to bypass to keep your network complete and connected. You have to excuse me a little if my voice gets a little gravelly. I'm recovering from a cold. But so where was I? The wires. So yeah, to keep your network all complete. So the way it works is each element of the grid, it's all controlled by pretty much the same code. The wires, the tracks, the feeder units, even the generators, it's all the same piece of code basically. It looks around, finds its neighbors, according to some connection rules which vary between tracks and wires and blocks and stuff. But it finds all its neighbors, and it then averages its internal buffer. You see this 1,000 or 10,000. That's its buffer. It averages its buffer with its neighbors, and every part of the track does that. So it's fairly resistant to chunk loading issues, because even if a chunk isn't loaded for a little while, when it becomes loaded, it will average everything. Okay, getting a bit of lag here. One moment. Okay, that should fix the lag. My computer's... It's got more RAM, but stupid Windows 7 won't let me use it. So, I need to upgrade my operating system. But anyways. So it'll average with its neighbors. Is resistant to the chunks. And so basically, if you just... What you can do is put down... Let's see. Well, let's grab one here. What you can do, if you want, just put down one of these and come over here to Industrial Craft, and basically you could make little solar flowers around if you wanted. I don't know what that's for. Batteries? But that should work in theory. Let's test it. Yep. Get in power. Oh, that's probably... Let's try that again. Yeah, it's building up power, so... It's slowly building up power, but anyways, you can put a few of these around if you want. It'll keep the track energized. As for how much power is used, each one of these locomotives while running varies a little bit based on how fast the speed setting is on the locomotive. But at max speed, it uses 20 charge per tick, basically 20 EU per tick. And that will eventually be reflected by your generator. As you can see, they're drawing this one not so much. This one's powering this massive thing over here. But it draws a decent amount. What the locomotive takes from the track needs to be replenished by your generators, so there's that. If you find your tracks are not energized in some place because your generators aren't loaded often enough, you just basically got to put like one of these around. But yeah, 3 solar panels won't keep a locomotive running indefinitely, so just saying. I don't know what's up with the lag. I shut down some stuff, but it doesn't seem to have made much difference. It wasn't lagging earlier. Oh, it's probably because I'm doing the video recording. But anyways, I guess I'll show you the recipes for that. So we have, let's see, what do we have? First of all, we have electric track, and we'll go ahead and, yeah. We got some clockwork engines from forestry here. I would have used hobbyist steam engines, but Buildcrafts made them behave really funky at the moment, so I don't know what's up with that. Which is part of the reason why Railcraft is moving away from the Buildcraft API, because I no longer have control over any of that. So if it's going to be buggy, I don't really have any desire to try and figure out what they broke. But so that gives us our electric rail, which you can come over here and in our nice little forestry work table. We have our electric rails, makes electric tracks, danger, high voltage, powered by electricity, uses electric locomotive, use electric feeder units to power, use shunting wire to bridge gaps. It's a pretty flexible system. But we have our 4 standard tracks, the basic track, the junction, switch, and Y. And we got the feeder unit, which is very simple, just a tin plate and copper ingots. If you haven't seen how to make tin plates, I can toss that in here real quick. The recipe's been in the mod for quite a while, but whether or not anybody ever used it, I'm not quite sure what I just did. I think I just wasted. Okay. It's been in the mod for a while, but I doubt anybody's ever really used it because it really wasn't used for anything. Because Railcraft didn't have tin. It has tin now, so now we have tin plates. And tin plates is 2 iron and 2 tin. Makes us tin plates. Which, if you're wondering why there's iron in tin plates, that's because that's how they do it in the real world too. So we got our 4 tin plates in the corners and copper in the middle. Gives us the electric feeder unit, which is used in the locomotive recipe as well, which is over here. So we got the electric feeder unit, a minecart, a couple of steel gears, and steel plates, and a redstone lamp. Gives us electric locomotive. And the gear recipe actually has changed a little bit. So the steel gears are now steel ingots surrounding a tin bushing. Tin bushings are 4 tin, makes 2 tin gear bushings. This recipe might conflict with something somewhere. I haven't found anything yet, but I can't say for certain that there isn't something out there that it conflicts with. Then if there is, I'll have to find an alternative recipe. But this is already the 2nd recipe I've tried. But anyways, if that recipe isn't overridden by something else, you have your tin gear bushings, and use that to make your steel gears. And the iron gears are the same as are the gold plate gears. Moving away from the Buildcraft style of gear crafting a little bit. And over here we have wire, the electric shunting wire, which is lead, paper, and copper. Gives you 8 electric shunting wire. Now, before you say, why don't you use rubber or something? Because I don't want to depend on IC2. And if anybody's curious, there actually was historically high voltage power transmission cables that were created just like this. They had a copper core surrounded by like 2 inches of layered paper and wax. Paper with wax. And surround that, they surrounded the whole thing in lead. They put it through a rolling machine to create the whole thing. Actually, I probably went through the rolling machine several times to apply each layer. But that gives you electric shunting wire. Connect electric tracks across gaps. Place under the track using wire support frames. And we can go over here to the wire support frames. Here we are. These are rebar and iron plates. Fairly simple. I really wish that the stupid rendering wasn't broken. But I don't even understand why it's broken there. I don't know what. You see, it's something that Vanilla did in 1.7. It's not the only block in Railcraft that has the problem. We also have the electric meter, which is copper, tin, buttons, and glass panes. Gives us the electric meter. And finally, we have the metals chest, which I haven't shown you yet. I'll show you that in a second here, but you create the metals chest with 4 steel gears, 4 pistons, and an anvil in the middle. It's a little expensive, I know, but I just think this recipe is too cool, regardless of how expensive it is. But that gives us the metals chest over here, which, let's see, give me some metal. Here we go. So I can just toss some metals in here, and it'll start condensing the gold nuggets into golden ingots, and iron in the blocks. They'll do it with steel and copper. Kind of useful. It currently only works with metals that Railcraft adds. That may change in the future, depending upon how annoying it is to support things that aren't in Railcraft. We'll see. But that's pretty much about it for this update. That's all the major stuff. Pretty complicated system. You can put normal tracks on these things too. Anyways, this was 9.3.1.0. Will be the version that you guys will be playing. I hope you enjoyed the enjoyed the video, and I hope you enjoy the electric locomotives, because I think they're pretty cool. They ought to make some systems quite a bit simpler than the steam locomotives. Although the steam locomotives, I do still want them to have their place, so there may be some balance tweaks and things. I don't want the electric locomotive to be the obvious choice over the steam locomotive, but I may have to do some tweaks there. We'll see. Oh, one thing I should mention. This is very, very important. These things hurt. Don't stand on them. And don't get hit by the train either. That hurts too. But, let's see. We'll come over here. Gotta update my game mode here for a second. Get me some light blue wool. Oop. So if we take the light blue wool and we come over here, makes us a pair of engineer's overalls. These have been in the mod for quite a while. They have protected you from death by locomotive. I don't know how many people knew that. but put these on. Yep, there's my Minecon cape. Yep. You see, here's our engineer's overalls. Pretty snazzy. So we'll change our game mode back to survival. See if we can do this without getting killed. We see, I can now stand on the tracks without taking any damage. Do be aware, however, that standing on the tracks will damage your overalls, so I suggest you don't stand on them for any longer than you have to. Additionally, they will protect you from death by locomotive. They won't protect you from getting hurt, but they will protect you from death, what would otherwise be an instant death. And another thing I should probably show you. So get some diamond armor here. The diamond armor will not protect you. I think we just ran out of power. It does use quite a bit of power to cause damage to entities on the tracks. Which, speaking of which, chickens and tracks do not get along very well. They don't get along very well with locomotives either. But anyways, that is right there. Either, depending upon your look, it's either a pro or a con for using electric tracks. It will keep it clear of mobs, but it will also keep it clear of players, even yourself. But I think I have started rambling a little bit because I think I already tried to finish this off by telling you about the versions and everything. But anyways, I already said that. This update was brought to you by Patron and all my wonderful patrons out there. You guys beat the milestone for this, like, within a week of when I put it up. Which, I'm not going to complain about that, but I expected it to take a little bit longer so that I'd have a little bit more time to kind of get the whole thing put together. But that's okay. You guys beat it in a week, and it only took me 4 months or so to implement it, but it's here now. Remaining milestones, which I should comment on. The laser rails, which I mentioned earlier. They are... I'm not going to work on them right away. I'll talk about what I am going to do right away in a moment, but they will be powered by the same charge system that everything else here is using. Convertible from IC2 power, and I will try and get at least a few other mod APIs support added to the feeder unit. We'll see how that goes. It's also possible I might be releasing mini mods that add like a factorization themed feeder unit for the tracks or something. We'll see. Well, for the whole system. I'll probably end up doing that because I don't want to add a hard compile time dependency for like factorization. Things which don't actually provide an actual API. We'll see. I'm probably getting too technical here. None of you probably have any idea what I'm talking about, but So the laser rails will project across the gaps like these, only much larger gaps, be powered by electricity. And we'll not go into too much detail because I haven't worked out all the details just yet. But anyways, it'll be cool. That is one of the that's the second milestone you guys beat. You beat that one within 2 weeks of me putting Patron up. So it's been around for a while too. So, but first, the first thing I want to do, which I'm going to be starting work on in the next. Actually, I've already started doing some of the things that I need to get the whole thing set up. But what I'm going to be working on here shortly is getting the source for Railcraft, at least most of it, up on GitHub. I plan to get it up there with a build script that will allow you to compile kind of a bastardized version of Railcraft that you can actually run in your dev environment and whatnot. There's certain license restrictions and things that I can't, reasons for why I can't just give you all the source code, but or all the sounds or assets and stuff. But anyways, there's reasons for that, but I won't go into too much detail. But the license for when it will be up there will be very similar to what Forestry had before it went LGPL, when it was a Creative Commons thing, no redistribution or something like that. I don't remember what it was. Anyways, it'll be visible source, but you can't actually distribute compiled versions of it. The main point of putting it up there is for people to A, learn from, and B, help me either add things or fix bugs. I got a lot of people who are really excited about this, so hopefully I can get some support from other users and modders out there and maybe get some more API support and fix some long-standing bugs that I've been too busy to look at, and it'll be a good thing. It'll be a good thing. Trust me on this. I still want to control distribution for several reasons, like the fact that I can't actually distribute the sounds outside of the jar, so don't ask. It's weird. But it'll be a good thing. I'm really looking forward to it. So that's the other patron goal that one's been about 3 weeks since you guys beat that one. But we'll have that up soon. I know I promised it like 2 weeks ago, but I was thinking to do it before I finished the locomotives, but then I realized my code base was split into like 3 parts and I couldn't do that. So I've condensed it all back down to one branch again, so now we can actually see about getting the source code up on GitHub. So it's going to be cool. I've probably gone way over time here, so that's about all I have to say. Again, thank you, my patrons. I don't have any more milestones for you at the moment because I want to get all these ones done before I put any new ones up. But and I haven't actually given it too much thought what I could put up there. The diesel locomotive is a tempting one. That one has a lot of systems involved. Distillation tower, mixing machine, stuff I've been talking about for a while. But no details. No details. So, I hope you enjoyed it. And this is Covert Jaguar, signing off.